so much, like A ramp into heaven, that it seems really dangerous for defenders to push, to actually sit in heaven. They either have to play on A ramp or right back. Otherwise, they sort of put themselves in one and done positions. These are some interesting compositions here, right? We not only do we get the Viper, but we also get the breach here from Thwiper.
Yeah, so we see the common setup at A here from, yeah, there it is. The map was flipped on me from what I'm used to looking at normally. The Killjoy alarm bot by Ropes. We got a nade up there by Heaven in case they do a push. Yep. And then we got the triple beast Heaven setup. So Viper is probably going to throw a wall across to Heaven in mid, right? Do you do that early?
Maybe holds on to it here. And this is classic XSET. This is
a one-way, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the poison orb. Okay. Dark cover also throw down. So Weedit has, I guess, a little bit of a corner to look in. And this is a classic, right? Wall thrown across for Sick and the rest are walking. But it's actually Sick just trying to sell something right now. And he's drawing so much utility out.
Exactly. And it pulls them off the watch. And now the Heaven guys can cross potentially to A or take some fights. But Sick probably unintentionally goes down there. Well, no one ever wants to get fragged, but I think he was just supposed to prod a little bit.
It's the aftershock, though. It forced him to get out of that corner.
Yeah.
Still, though, this lets Sentinels get in on A. Look, they have Heaven control completely. We did realize, holy, they are so close to me right now. He sat, obviously, over towards Defender spawn, so it is going to be the A side open for Sentinels. Dapper tentatively makes his way up A ramp, and I don't know, Weedit doesn't quite know where to look, and he loses out. Dapper, just a little bit of health left, and the post plant is on. It's a 4v4. Dapper's just going to sit in smoke for the time being, and Frenzies can get to work.
Oh, didn't quite get in the smoke there. Even it up here. But Sinatra actually going to get the kill. But too little, too late for XSET here. Swifo is too deep outside the bomb, and he's just going to go for the save here. Get the ghost.
He's got nothing to work with, right? None of his utility except for the fault line. Ghost in hand. Not exactly a brawler's kind of weapon. And Sinatra absolutely makes off like a bandit in that round. Most of his kills come from, I'll be honest with you, walking into dark cover, holding mouse 1, but he takes 2, so does Dapper, and Sentinels get on the board early here on the offensive side.
At least you're honest, Mitch. That's all I could ask.
So we're for the people here. we ain't lying to the people. I mean,
oh man,
they at home could figure it out. You know what I mean?
I like the setup for that round. I thought potentially XSET could have held that. They had the stuff in place at A Heaven. They just Sentinels, good job getting the split off and taking the round.
Okay, so XSET don't force into this round. I think they have one shorty.
Can I see the scoreboard really quick again, Observer? Let's see here. I don't know.
We might get it.
Yeah. So yeah, one shorty.
Oh, that's off the table.
Yeah.
That was
the wall by Slick.
Well, you can just walk in now, right? Like, there's mid control, but there's 4 players in heaven for XSET. But I think they only have the classics to work with. I mean,
just a little firing zone, and Sick doesn't care about getting a little aggressive there because he just has the ghost, not really giving away too much here. But now it's a 3v2 where Sentinels had to be a little careful though, not to keep giving up guns here. But it looks like they're not going to give anything else up. As Zom's Nation gets the last frag there.
Zom's Nation in the chat. Absolutely. Yeah, okay, so XSET, that's not a round we expected to really see them do any great things, right? They get a shorty. I think Aaron was just trying to play close in sort of, B main to see if he could catch something. That doesn't pay off. That opening is much wider now. A lot of those deeper defensive angles have been eliminated. So Sentinels take a bonus here for a few of their players. Still Stinger in the hands of Zoms. And a full rifle buy here for XSET.
This map has the step across and the flash is gonna also come in. He might be able to get a second one versus Sick, and he does. That's such a clean exit and entry. Oh man, I love that play right there. And in some senses, that B main plays a little bit of like a scent on the extremities, where if you could win those fights early and kind of deter them or force them to use abilities, break Roombas if there was a raise in this case, and just kind of win those fights, and it sets the pace for the rest of the half and forces them to maybe bring more numbers or more utility there. And then the more noise they have to make early to take those fights, the more kind of noise they make, or the more predictable the rest of the round becomes because of the timing of rotations. So now XSET in a good situation mid here with kind of a lock, but actually, Viper's just standing here alone in male. He should be able to get one kill here.
We did play
Beyond
so
that,
deep.
might get traded.
We'll see what the timing's like for We did. As you know, there's okay, so he doesn't peek that. So BCJ has to see this. Okay, and he does. I mean, BCJ gets another one here in the round. That shrouded step play in B main, backed up by the flashpoint early, is just such a nice little two-piece. And this is when we talk about XSET. You know, we said they don't play individualistically, right? They play as a group. They don't really like the lurks play style. Something like that, very simple. It's a buddy system in B, created opportunity. It's similar to like a jet, flash, and dash kind of situation. And Sentinels do get to move on to the B side here, but again, they're in a 2v5 and they're up against the wall.
Enemy remaining. I have retrieved the spike.
No plant, no time. Twifo, no worries. That'll be the first round on the board here for XSET. And pretty clean opener there as well, taking control of B main.
Yeah, I really like that play there. That was super sick by BCJ there. Just a shroud step across, as I say. Oh, man, the flash comes in second as well. Even the slow there from Sick was a good contingency play to try to neutralize and keep his support off of him and get the kill, but the flash came in too fast, and first clean round there.
Well, yeah, I mean, what's interesting about that is that Twifo's not in a position to trade off with BCJ. He's just, he sends him in with a blessing, like, okay, see what you could do. You know, he gives him nothing but the flashpoint and then backs up and plays the site there. So BCJ essentially on his own has to create that opportunity, and he basically creates that round for XSET. Again, a bit of early aggression. This time, different part of the map, but it's the same dynamic duo.
Here.
Ooh,
Here in Heaven, I'm not sure I'm a big fan of that angle. His team really couldn't help him from behind right there. And now Sentinel is able to scale through Heaven super easily. We did the last kind of line of defense here. Hopefully he could wrap around, get a kill, and delay for his teammates to rotate in here. And not able to. Sinatra with the stinger. Mid-range wins a fight versus a Phantom. Nothing more tilting during this patch than losing those fights.
Egregious considering both of the kills for Sentinels have come off the back of those stingers. Twifo now needs to break down the wall. The time for subtlety seems to be over. We have a 3v3 with Sentinels in the post plant. And they have good coverage over the site. Zombs at long range gets rid of VCJ, and it's just stingers all the time. Sinatra is extremely stunned up there. Looks like he got hit with a flashpoint as well. Turret deploy, but Sinatra drops down on top of Twifo now. Showstopper should end the round, or it could end the round. Sinatra doesn't need anything fancy. Subtle as a sledgehammer, the Sentinels' way, and they'll get another one on the board.
Sinatra really wanted to close that one out with the ult. Good play, though. Pretty early in the half. I think either way, you're going to end up getting your ult back, and I think it's a good way to secure the round. In case your teammate goes down, you fire one of those off, and you get that momentum early. But yeah, this angle by Pure right there, I mean, that is a massive entry. And honestly, in the new patch, you may win that fight because you have such an advantage over most rifles. The Phantom has such a good fire rate. You just get duped by the Stinger there, and then all of a sudden, the trade goes downhill from there for them. But yeah, I would have probably liked to see him maybe play like a rafter angle with his teammate stairs behind him. I don't know, just the setup seemed a little wonky to me.
The BCJ splits off this time from Twifo, and as a result, can't make anything really happen towards A main now. Plenty of Killjoy utility over at the A side. Just Aaron here. That one kill is an extremely good way of relieving some of the pressure here as the Sentinels players have just started a conga line over towards the A side after that first pick. But it's definitely not secured just yet. This is buying crucial moments for XSET to get in position, but Weeded doesn't know what's in mid. So he doesn't feel inclined to jump into rope room and help out. Aaron is still on an island for the next 10 to 20 seconds. Here it comes.
Big frag by Aaron right there, but the
Rolling Thunder doesn't do much there.
Yeah, Rolling Thunder not really netting much, but you know, maybe a little bit of delay here. 4v4 stagnating. Still probably, honestly, it doesn't look like it, but it might be an offense advantage here.
Well, yeah, still doesn't know what's happening in mid. Like, I don't think XSET have enough information about what Sentinels are doing. Otherwise, they wouldn't have Pure at the B side still. They're not ready for this at all. And now Sentinels descend. They starve XSET of that information, right? Weeded doesn't feel confident peeking down or pushing down mid. So now XSET are in a 2v4.
Yeah, I kind of saw that happening for a second. I wasn't sure if the defense was a little bit more composed, they could have had it, but that's why I said it still was offense friendly right there with the way they were positioned Heaven and ready to scale. Sick and the rest of the boys and Sentinels just need to do the basics here and make sure they close this out here, set up some crossfires and be ready.
Upper uncharacteristically slow on the trigger finger there. Doesn't matter too much as it's just Weeded. We don't. Sit out. Sinatra gets 4 in the round. And Sentinels, remember, they managed to XSET sort of reset their loss bonus, and Sentinels just buy stingers and trounce them. So now, I mean, you know, you're on an island here in terms of your economy, XSET. I mean, you can see it right there. I don't need to tell it to you. They have very little to work with. And now we might see them opt for a bit of a force here. Pure already says, I want the stinger. Look at the B main. Look at B main here. So there might be some action defensively here early in the round.
Oh, lost you for a second there. Luckily, it was in freeze time. I'm back.
Let's go. Look at B main. Bit of aggression here from XSET. Pure pushes up with the stinger. I mean, Six says, I don't want any of that. And that's a great fault line. Zoms is disoriented. XSET have map control. A lot of it.
A unique situation over here at A. They're not exactly sure what they should be clearing. With Dapper doing a good job just to stay alive here while he waits for the boys to get back.
Sinatra is, I mean, he's in Saving Private Ryan.
A rude awakening right potentially.
Yeah. Oh! Yep. Well,
I'm glad there's no blood settings. I mean...
Yes, that's right. I'd be telling people to avert their eyes in anticipation of that. We're in a 3v3. BCJ gets to upgrade. I don't know why he does. I mean, he's getting the job done just fine with the Bucky. Okay, he's at lockdown here in the post plant, so Shazam has to hotfoot his way over towards Heaven. Zoms runs headlong into BCJ with his 3rd kill of the round. Down to 20 HP, but still in position to cause a lot of problems. But Sick is ready. And now it is just up to Aaron, 21 HP and a stinger. He gets the drop on Sick. Potentially a winning position, but it's such a strong spot for Shazam to be playing from, and he has a proper weapon. That's another for Sentinels, and these keep stacking up, but the pressure builds on XSET.
I don't know what a proper weapon means anymore right now during this patch, but I get what your point is. And yeah, Sentinels just looking so solid right there. Great play by Dapper to sneak across the site there and kind of create a unique situation. Tough for them to try to climb back from kind of being stuck between 2 angles there in the site.
You can see the lead now. 3 in a row for Sentinels. Sinatra is having a fantastic time by just kind of being crazy, looking for a lot of this early aggression. Speaking of which, XSET do, again, they have the Breach and Omen combo active at A right now, but it's just Dapper over there. Not looking for too much. Pure, okay. 2 through mid opens an opportunity for XSET here just to sort of strangle Sentinels across the map. Sage wall for B, but no push yet.
The wall is so powerful. Brings so much attention to it right away. If they use it right and Sick with a massive double kill on top of the wall there. It looked like he was in a position to maybe even barely get 1, let alone 2 there. And now I love this forward positioning from him. He's going to go be able to take an off-angle spawn. Even if they know he's here, this is one of the hardest angles to clear in the map. The off-angle that you could play here is so devastating here. And XSET fellow is going to try to maybe walk through this Heaven smoke and catch them off guard here. But this is going to be a unique situation. They do get out here, but still both caught in the middle of the open. One of them tagged by a cycle cam. And not going to have an easy time here trying to fight.
I mean, in fairness, FIFO had a lot of good utility for the retake, and I think he actually hit Dapper with the fault line. But Sick was already sat in defender side spawn there as well. Look, Jordan, how much better can it get for you, right? Pure in mid, sprays 2 players down, XSET have full mid control, and they still let the round slip away.
Yeah, right when they got those mid kills, it's just them being kind of confused. Like, they were somehow not on the same page at B, and they're all over each other. That alone changed a lot for them, because if just one of them dies to Sick, it's not the end of the world. They're still in an even situation there to be able to come back, but that just made things so uncomfortable for them. And then their 2 guys are rotating into a retake where they're coming from across the map with no knowledge of how far pushed Sick is or anyone else. So now another situation where, you know, XSET has to try to keep confidence here and win these fights, but Sentinels is doing so good to win the rounds, even the ones they shouldn't. So it's probably hard for them to know what to do. I doubt they're trying to change much on the XSET camp. They're probably just saying, hey guys, stick to what we know and let's hopefully string together a couple rounds here.
Pure is hoping his Blade Storm is more effective than his Phantom this time, playing that same angle in B Heaven. We have like a 1-3-1 to start the round from Sentinels, right? And this is what they do. The default, they just find a pick, and now they'll start to lean more onto a certain part of the map. fault line plays out, but Sentinels aren't really bothered. Pure has to find something big here. Again, he's being called on to provide a big moment for the second consecutive round. Aaron gets the Natra, but Six able to respond very quickly, and Pure, he gets nothing yet. The plates out, and XSET, they're bringing all the big boy toys to the fight, but they're all getting thrown out the pram now. It's just weeded in a 1v3, and just bucky things, I guess, but 22 HP is not going to be enough to get him there.
That shotgun is insane. I don't know if I like what I just saw right there, even though they lost the round. Yeah, Sentinels, Shazam just snaking up into ropes right there and finding a kill early. It just, nothing's going for their way early, XSET that is. And I don't know, they just need to be able to find a situation where maybe they give up mid and they have a better crossfire set of heaven. But again, Reach just caught hell. The Raze ult comes in through B. They get split up. Jet has to turn, and then they just come up male. And there's not any like cohesion, it seems, with the mid-round action for XSET.
This might be a fast hit on A here, Jordan, based on the setup. Dapper does everything the same way, but the Snakebite actually slows Sentinels down.
Yeah, like you said, he's been throwing the cages each round there, so maybe it'll look the same from them. But the difference here is XSET has full mid control. I love their reaction here to stay aggressive and not lose confidence, but Shazam is so good at finding kills against riflers, especially ones that want to get info. He's not scared to stand in the open and hold these angles. And now Zombs. Did he stick it? Yep, he's back at the site now. They get the res, and it's a comfortable 5 versus 3 where they have the bomb site fully covered.
Dapper doesn't need to do anything crazy here. He can just hold this angle. I mean, A-Heaven is dangerous enough as it is. And, well, I mean, if Dapper didn't have it, Shazam probably would have. The trade is finally there. Pure is going to make his way from A-Heaven now, and that's the operator taken out of the hands of the Jet, but the Sentinels still boast the better numbers. And Thwyfo may have a lot of utility, but his position is very well known. He just has to go for a gigantic clutch. Sprays that corner down as he's aware that, well, I mean, they know where I am anyway, so I might as well try and get the drop on someone. Wall in the way. Tripwire also present, and Sinatra again just waits. No reason for Sentinels to rush. Sinatra drops on him. What is this, Assassin's Creed? Come on, wear the mask. You know you want to.
I was watching it. I was like, I don't think the ground is that close. You literally just sat on his face there as it goes into an 8v1, 8-1 scoreline here. And, you know, it doesn't seem like XSET is shying away from the fights here. They got aggressive on mid here, but then Shazam just again finds an early kill there. Yeah, you saw that.
He has no idea that Thwyfo's there until he lands on him.
Yeah, so it's just, this is kind of looking a little too easy for Sentinels right now. Everything seems to be going their way. I like XSET to keep trying to bring these fights to the table, but it's just not working out.
XSET yet to find a definitive answer to what Sentinels are bringing. That probably has something to do with the fact that it's different every round. Sentinels playing with some real instinct here. Sinatra tries to follow up the kill. Thwyfo falls back and is also assisted by We Did there. Sentinels fall into the trap. Hook, line, and sinker.
How does that work on the ropes right there? Thwyfo, great double kill there. Shazam trying to pick them out of midair there. Not going to do it, and it's down just to Sick alone. Looks like he'll probably be able to find, well, maybe one kill here. We'll see.
That'll be
26 seconds health still for the heal.
Yeah, I mean, he can potentially plant at B, but I think outside of that, his options are pretty slim. You can see that XSET have been able to get themselves some weapon upgrades here, and they do that just by allowing Sentinels to take their map control. It turns out Rope Room looks like a bit of a meat grinder in the end. Sage wall from Sick. Looking to try and turn these into 1-1s.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, when you have low HP, playing those headshot angles are really solid because then you're fair regardless, right? It doesn't matter if you have 5 HP or 100, you're shooting heads. So he's trying to get a quick frag. VCJ playing off the turret shots and able to finally close out the round. They need this A4 here, Mitch.
Only a couple of rounds left in the half, 2 more to be exact. This is how things go wrong earlier on. Thwyfo kind of peeks, baits back. We Did's there to help. He doesn't need it in the end. 2 kills from the Spectres, mind you, inside Rope Room, and Sentinels, despite having a far more impressive arsenal, just end up playing in really compromising situations, but they have enough money to work something here, and Sinatra, I mean, buys up the Odin because he can.
Dapper with his usual cages thrown early here. And the aggression mid, Sentinels say, hey, we're not going to sit back and let you start building up rounds. They're still going to push the pressure on early here as they go up male. Omen, Killjoy, finally looking like they have a little decent setup here for the passive fight. Hopefully they let this turret take a shot, and they should be able to get one off that. Sentinels, though, staying tight here for the trades. Good jiggle peek there, though, by them to see the setup, and now they have an opportunity to reset and kind of calibrate if they have an Omen flash or something of that nature.
There's a Viper's Pit in B main right now, which is Weeded is currently just swimming in. So B main, maybe not much of an option for Sentinels. It's just as well that they have this mid control. Maybe they're waiting on Dapper to find something. You can see he's actually starting to probe and lurk a little bit more towards that A side of the map. Six presents his head as an option, and BCJ gladly takes it. The trade is there for Sinatra, but Sentinels are down to 3 players. They have mid. That's about it.
Nice little shot there.
All right, Sinatra. Show us the footwork.
Sinatra.
I mean,
I like that jiggle peek.
if there's any gun barrel
It's a
that's going
thing.
to give you away, it's probably that one. Soms gets rid of BCJ, but yeah, now Sentinels are sort of having to play around the extremities of their Viper's Pit, and that's tough. Thwifo catches Zoms out, and Shazam has a Blade Storm here, but might not be inclined to expend that. Okay, now in a 1v1 situation, there's 12 seconds left in the round, but Shazam has to plunge towards the site. Gives it a tickle. Weeded, just a little too canny to get caught out by that.
That's a great effort there by Shazam. Almost bring it out. Did he still have the Blade Storm?
He did, he just didn't use it, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know if that would have been the plan. I mean, I guess that close range, it's all about who hits the first bullet anyways, gun or not. So, great shot there by BCJ at the beginning, though, to start it off. And that's actually a play, by the way. I see Brax used to do that a lot, where he just shows his barrel for a jiggle peek. And it's actually a really solid way to get people to shoot if they're a little timid, you know, holding the angle. Yeah. So I think it's a good effort.
I mean, that is a big barrel, to be fair. Like, I ain't trying to get weird on you, but that is like a large barrel to peek around a corner. I would probably get nervous if I saw that sort of, you know, heading in my direction.
And his movement speed is just a little bit too slow there to really take advantage of anything beyond that. He already used his satchel, so.
Sam tries to go on hide. That was the Blade Storm used there. We did. Says no. The mid definitely seems to be, again, the objective for Sentinels. For the most part, playing inside the dark cover, but Sinatra is coming. We did says no to that as well. Not much of a yes man this round, but that's what XSET want to see from him. And Pure will play the other side here with the operator.
Did he leg him?
I know.
It almost looked like he might have hit Stick in the foot. Yeah, I think he did. And then he gets the res off.
4v4. Neural theft as well. Okay. And looks like it's over towards A here as Sentinels realize, wait a minute, the XSET hold on A is only at the extremities. They're not on the site at all. We did again, gets called up to do the dirty work for XSET, but he gets hit with a paranoia and then he gets put to bed. Dapper wants to go in towards screens here. Aaron can't really see anything. He's just going to try and dissuade this bomb plant here, the spike plant, with a lockdown. Oh, okay, in the corner. Looks like a high school disco now.
Everyone's holding hands over in the corner there.
Oh my, that is
Aaron,
dirty!
That is such a sick breach clear right there. I thought this was going to be over after Aaron missed the initial opportunity for them when they were falling out heaven. He didn't get those kills, but then the beautiful breach flank, the clear with the back corner of the site. That is awesome awareness by them to realize that's one of the only spots that could have stayed alive. And good job for the observers to get that one.
Absolutely. You love to see it. Thanks, observers. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in for what promises to be an interesting second half as XSET not only shows some of the kills, but also a little bit of flair. Let's see if it's enough to keep them competitive here on Split after the break. And welcome back, everybody, to the Valorant Champions Tour North America Challengers 2. That's a mouthful. So far, Sentinels have had a very good start on Split. They take 8 rounds on attack, and it looks different every single time, nothing. But now it's a chance for XSET here to strut some of their stuff and maybe get some value here out of the Breach and Viper in the mix.
Why am I so mature? You said mouthful. First thing I thought about was Sinatra dropping on 3 posts. And anyways, I'm done here. We're live back in the pistol round here. 8-4. Sentinels trying to close with this one out with a 2-0 victory. Looking very likely so far. They look strong. They look firm. But there's still frenzies in the meta here, and XSET has them in hand. Waiting behind that wall, trying not to give up their position early, but they're ready to swarm. 4 guys on A, looking good for XSET here, as they're going to have the site for free, as Cypher has pushed through B main and given everything but B main to them right now. Sick, gonna get caught off guard here, does some damage. and no Sage on the offense here, as they won't have the heal, but they do have the man advantage.
I mean, when I said XSET play together, I didn't necessarily mean they'd literally become Voltron, like one unit that just moves, but it works well. They get through the wall, they get onto the site, and Sentinels already down to just the 3 players to work with here. And good luck to them, is what I have to say. VCT will get the spike down. See what Sinatra gets done here. Paint Shell's obviously incredibly potent on pistol rounds like this. And the shoulder peek from Aaron is primo.
Great numbers. Sentinels boys, Zoms in particular, are going to have to do something special here to win the round right now, as he's wrapping around the site, doesn't know these guys are close behind the boxes, and is immediately just going to get taken out there.
Good stuff.
Lefo ending the round nicely with the frenzy. Like you said, good start, 3 men alive, and it's all but over though, because they still have the second round to deal with, and if Sentinels does want to buy here, they have a lot of opportunities.
This looks like a zombie
to get kills.
apocalypse movie, Jordan. Like they just pour through, you know, like the zombies eventually,
Yeah.
like, they stack up against the wall and they eventually just like break through. That's what that looks like.
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah, and it works, and they did it quietly and they did it fast, and that's the key when you're grouping up like that. So right here, Sentinels is actually going to save. They just want to keep the man advantage. A couple shorties there, because all of these close angles are so powerful with shotguns on split. So a lot of opportunity for these guys to get a couple kills here, but looks like they're really just prepping up for the third round.
Aftershock there for FIFO.
One of the first angles you're worried about with the shotties.
Absolutely, and who knows? I mean, you never know what you could be running into on the Sentinel side here. So XSET are making sure to do their due diligence before they commit to anything. Looks like A. I mean, but look at this. Look at Dapper. Look at this lurk from him. He knows everything now. He's literally like Charles Xavier. He's got Cerebro strapped to his head, and he can see in the minds of XSET. This is all the information Sentinels need to make informed decisions, and still Sick gets caught out.
That sucks, because Hunter Sick, that is, probably wanted to get close in a position where he could actually do some damage with the shorty, but now the tables have turned, and all of a sudden XSET in a 5 versus 2 where we didn't think they had
Spike planted.
Actually, no, I'm confused there. For some reason, I thought someone was flanking, so my brain just broke. XSET in a situation where we didn't think they had much to worry about, and they don't in the end. Yes, sorry. Confused there, chat, love you.
You were kind of right, though, because, you know, there was this sort of lurk by Sentinels, like, into mid, right? They had, like, mad mid control, and they knew that XSET are working on A, and still XSET are able to execute pretty cleanly.
Yeah, I confused someone on radar, though, because the outline on the browser here. I was like, is that... Oh, no, that's someone.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
So now the first actual gun round, though, from Sentinels, and here's where the real match begins here.
Yeah, no upgrades, actually, for XSET, though. They take the bonus here. Oh, okay, Aaron is going to buy a little bit. No? Cells. There you go. So slightly under-geared XSET could be considered in this situation, but, I mean, they have 3 Spectres, so still plenty of damage to be done. Sick only has sort of light armor. Mid control for Sentinels. You see they burst out of mid early and they actually leave Sick behind, but it's A where the action's about to be.
Passively waiting here. Omen kind of playing by the corner here. He has some options to get himself out of there if he starts seeing the nades come in. He smoke himself out or something. He's jiggling, sees this all happening. He's going to use the flash to try to get 1 kill, opting to stay in the bomb site and frag out here. Depending on his angles here and how they peek, he's able to maybe get a couple frags. It's 1, and ooh, Shazam finds his way around the Viper ball there very smartly. And now it's a 3 versus 2 for Sentinels here, as they're actually able to lock it down on defense. Back to a 2 versus 2.
There's no spike plant yet.
No spike plant yet, as it's still sitting in the middle of the open here, and Sinatra staying aggressive. I love that. Immediately taking ground from them and just making it such a difficult position by using angles properly.
So again, not the end of the world, because it's a bonus for XSET. They can still buy up coming into this round. And they look like they trade fairly effectively into that A site to begin with. I think that, you know, not having a good chance to plant, and I think the fact that, who is it, Zoms on the site? The fact that Zoms actually gets a 1-for-1 despite being in like a 1v4 and being like fault lined, it's pretty brutal for XSET. Like, they still lose a player, and already the momentum kind of suffers. So we still have XSET able to buy in. Aaron obviously not entirely. So the threat is still there. Sentinels still really have to lock them out here in this round to really put proper pressure and get out towards a match point. All in mid.
The cheeky hide behind the wall right now.
Yeah, looks like Sick. Again, just likes to remain entrenched in mid and not reveal himself. You'll notice that Sinatra's actually doing most of the chain rattling right now. Hoping to at least give them like a cheeky backstab position, but XSET are taking their time here. They've got designs on the B side by the looks of things. Sick, there he goes. He gets to spring forth. He's able to heal himself up, but he didn't have any armor left, and Sinatra actually lost out. So it's trade 2 for 2 in mid. Here comes a rolling thunder. That is aimed towards mid and mail room, but somehow Shazam gets out.
Yeah, it doesn't really get them much. It gives them a little bit of space as they're going through heaven, but Sentinels is aware this is Dapper's in a great position to get 1 and potentially 2 here. Does enough damage and delays long enough for Zom's Nation to be able to come in and get another frag. Thwifo in the 1v2 here. There's some potential to win this, but the bomb's in such an awkward position that he's got to climb elevation either via the stairs and ladder, and they're going to be able to watch both quite easily from heaven.
Thwifo will likely get 2 1 versus 1s. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a good thing because he's going to be running headlong into a close angle stinger. He wins that one out. Takes pretty limited damage as a matter of fact. And now with the fault line, wants to push in. Shazam, not bothered though. The headshot rings true. The Phantom connects. And now XSET, they're out of money.
I like the aggressiveness from Shazam right there. Whenever you're in a 1 versus 1 versus somebody and they're forced to kind of hold W or go down a corridor, even albeit a small one like we saw in heaven right there, you have an advantage because your pre-aim is able to be so easy there when it's hard for them to move left and right. So he is able to just peek into the guy with a little bit of forward movement. It's hard for him to stop Thwifo there on a dime and just and know when Shazam's going to peek there. So great play by him to stay aggressive in a situation where a lot of people might play passive and bring it a couple rounds closer to the victory here.
XSET looked good at the start of this half. Remember, winning the pistol definitely helped, but they're now at risk of letting this slip away once more. Pure with the knives out. No connection early on. Tries to get up close to Sinatra, but is shut down. Sick has the off angle. The emphasis on mid for XSET here seems misguided because, again, just in the same way as the last round, Sentinels have it locked down. XSET were hoping to find something there, maybe, you know, do a half sort of default with a bit of a forced buy, but they got nothing. And Zoms gets rid of Thwifo, leaving Aaron all alone. Oh, that's so cheeky. That's so rude. Shooting out of the wall?
Such a sick one way. I didn't even think that one still existed on Split. I know people used to do that quite a bit.
Aaron knocks the wall out. And getting out of this position is very difficult. Aaron locked in purgatory there, and eventually he's put out of his misery. Sentinels now, just a 1 round away from match point, and this is the XSET we were sort of hoping we wouldn't see, right? They get off to a decent start, but once that economic bonus from winning the pistol dissipates, it becomes a Sentinel show all over again.
Curious if we'll see any fighting from B early. They do have the Killjoy ult on the XSET side, and you know people love just doing the B hit with that. So maybe they'll try to fake it a little bit early. They have the Killjoy turret set up towards A for the hold. I have a feeling this might be a late round kind of hit. Like they're going to take these fights early with the breach clear and the flashes, but I have a feeling they're not going to commit to B for a bit with the way they're spread out.
That is a Sentinels firing squad if I've ever seen one. Waiting for an attempted push here. Pura will just wait in mid and very passive attention towards mid as opposed to the more aggressive posturing at B for XSET. Down to 1 minute left in the round. And off they are to the races now. Maybe, I don't know what information really has been gained about the A site though, Jordan. I think XSET are just like, well, B is weird. Maybe we sell a fake by leaving this Viper wall behind. You see, they've just activated it now, but I mean, Zoms is ready for this.
Yeah, and he's got some support in the form of Shazam right now, and without having a smoke spawn, that's just going to keep happening, and they're just giving him these opening kills. And as much as the Killjoy ult's going to help, it might be too little too late here, unless Pure, I actually like this play here. It might be tough for him to get a kill, but he just needs to find some kind of advantage because they have the sight, but the sight's not good enough when you don't have enough numbers. Oh, wow. What an awesome rocket jump there with the ult, but Pure able to take 2 and even it up, and the dash is close, but not quite enough here, and Sick able to close out the last 2 kills there. That was an epic little chain of events right there. If Sick or if they went down right there and Sick lost that fight, that could have been even a cool final little 1v1 there. But wow, what a Rosa, not Rosa ult there by Sinatra as he flies out of spawn.
You know what I love about this, Jordan, is that every ult that misses is a Rosa ult, and then every ult that hits is a not Rosa ult.
Yeah, exactly.
The guy can't escape, but I guess Sinatra can add a paratrooper to his list of achievements there as he comes in from an angle that no one is really ever going to be holding, and that's the danger there that Raze poses. I mean, XSET, they're knee-deep in danger right now. Match point here, and they are cobbling together a buy with just whatever they can. They do have From the Shadows. They've got Viper's Pit available, so if they're in a position to make a fast hit on a clear site, plant spike, and then go for a post-plant with Viper's Pit, maybe they claw this back, Jordan, but it doesn't look like it's going to be easy. Look at what Sentinels come into this round with in terms of ultimates.
Yeah, and again, Shazam in a spawn position, so if they're not careful, they're going to run into the operator here. But Sentinels just has so much in the form of abilities that ults. And look at Sick with his res saying, listen, I'm just going to play aggressive. And if he doesn't know, but if he went through right now, he would probably get some free kills.
In towards A-Heaven. That's where XSET are trying to go. One left, it's just pure against the world, and there's a Resurrect available for Sentinels here. This seems like a truly inexorable situation. The spike is down towards A-Long, and Pure will make his way, looking rather dejected, down A-Ramp. Really hard to get information about where Sentinels are now as the smoke's cleared after that previous engagement. But the same can be said of Sentinels. They don't quite know where Pure is right now, until now. Shazam sets up a one-way, just throws that cheeky cloudburst, and that will be it. Sentinels, once again, handily dispatch XSET, knocking them out of Challengers 2. But of course, XSET, who've already qualified, aren't too upset. It's a reduction to their potential winnings.